Hello, hello. So, we are on day 2 of the week. It is Tuesday. I did my squats and I got all 10 by 10. And I'm going to regret it tomorrow. I I skipped doing just the 5 weight, like just one 5-pound dumbbell and doing goblet squats, and I grabbed both 5-pound dumbbells and did that, and it was tough. It was very rough. I definitely pushed myself a lot to get all 10 sets of 10. And I'm definitely going to be feeling that tomorrow. Like, I can already tell that it gassed me. It took a lot out of me. In case you couldn't tell by me just being very worn out. But yeah, so um, I I definitely had some like real life stuff happen today, and I've been when I talked about how things weren't going to be like super great or whatever. I was using it more in the sense of like I was still gonna mess up and I was still gonna make mistakes with like my choices and how handled stress. Today was almost one of those days. I was extremely stressed. Again, just real life stuff happened, and I was extremely stressed and upset. Um, and like I'm okay, so like don't think that I'm, you know, in like a bad way or anything. Like I am all right, but like again that temptation on the way home from work to just be like I'm just going to swing through and grab fast food. Like that immediate gratification, that immediate stress relief via that avenue. Um it was real. It was really really real today. And I wasn't expecting it to come through quite so quickly after talking about it immediately. But but it was very, very real today. Um, but I didn't, and I'm really proud of myself for that. Um, Instead, I came home. I slept for a little bit because I was. You know how sometimes, like, when you're stressed out and you're emotionally exhausted, it like leaks through into your body? That was definitely one of those today. Um, so I slept for a little bit and then I got up and I think the reason why I could do the 10 by 10 with the 10-pound weights instead of the 5-pound weights was because like I just poured a lot of my frustration into that. Um and there's something to be said about like emotion fueling physical outcomes. Ooh, pardon me. Seasonal allergies starting to come in and kick my butt. Um, you know, there are plenty of stories of people getting like angry or scared or like the adrenaline running because of something catastrophic happening, and they're able to do things that they couldn't necessarily do before, or like they use that to, you know, work out more, push more weight, all that kind of stuff. It seems kind of silly to me to talk about that with my little 5-pound dumbbells, one in each hand, doing my little squats in my kitchen, but in the same breath, like, I don't know. I don't know if I would have pushed myself so much if I wasn't so frustrated. Um, but it definitely opened up an avenue for me to be proud of myself. Because again, in the past, I would have reached for the pint of ice cream. I would have, ordered takeout. I would have turned to food and lazing around all day and just not doing anything. And while there was some of that, I came home and immediately slept. Um, but I think I kind of needed that. um, but as soon as I woke up, I decided to pour that into something positive, something that was going to benefit my body. Um, so, kind of rechanneling the usual coping mechanism into something that'll be a net positive. And like, it didn't fix anything. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I worked out and now all of my problems are solved. Like, it didn't fix anything. The problems still exist. I'm still gonna have to like work through stuff, and I'm still gonna have to figure everything out. um and I think that that's kind of true for a lot of life with our coping mechanisms. Like, my coping mechanisms before didn't solve anything. Um, and in fact, in a lot of ways, made things worse. And at the end of the day, like, those problems still existed outside of my coping mechanisms. Like, when I got done eating pizza or pasta or, ice cream or whatever, like, when that plate was empty or my bowl was empty, like, the problem still existed. And now I just had packed on another thing to feel guilty about. And with this, I just push myself to work out. And so, like, I'm building strength, I'm burning calories, I'm doing something positive for my body. And it doesn't solve the outside problems. Like, it doesn't change that they still exist. But I don't have that guilt then added on to that. I don't have any shame heaped on top of that. I don't feel like I have to, I guess, hide myself or punish myself in any way because of it. Um, I get to just be content and be proud in the fact. And it's almost like it kind of cleared my head a little bit. Like, I worked through some of my frustrations, I got it out via physical activity, and now I have space to kind of move forward with my thoughts and, making plans and executing them appropriately without the haze of frustration and self loathing, I guess, clouding my thought processes as well. Because that's the other part, too. Like, when you have bad coping mechanisms, the guilt surrounding them takes up so much space. Like, it does. It takes up so much space in your brain. And it like gets in the way of you being able to solve problems, and it gets in the way of, I'm sorry, I know I'm pausing a lot. It's because I'm trying to put these thoughts into words. um a lot of it just like gets in the way of you being able to then solve the initial issue or sort through the initial reason why you turned to the poor coping mechanism in the first place, which is kind of, you hate to say it, but like, that's why you had the coping mechanism to in the first place. Like, you did it to try and cope with the stressful situation or with the frustrating situation or whatever, and now you have compounded the issue and made it worse. um and so now, channeling that into something more positive. There's so much noise going on in the hallway. I'm sorry. Every time I sit down to record, it's like my neighbors just decide to freaking take a river dance in the hallway or something. Um, but channeling it into more positive coping mechanisms, it's like it clears up that space. It frees up the space that was previously being devoted to um, the bad coping mechanism and the guilt and the shame and the spiraling and all of that. It's like that's all gone now. So there's more processing power can be can be moved over um to now deal with the issue. And it feels good. It feels really, really good. Um Yeah. It's just, it feels like I'm getting a net positive. And again, this is week 3, so it's not like I've been doing this for months and months, but it feels good to start to realize these things about myself and try and shift and try and start actively moving to a more positive outcome. I'm not saying I'm I'm not saying that there will never be a time where sometimes just sitting down with friends and enjoying a good meal or having a moment to let yourself, kind of fall apart, exists. It's not like those moments in time hold no value, because they do. They have their value in a time and a place, in a specific time and place, um, but not every day. And I'm trying to move that every day into something more positive. And I feel like I'm slowly accomplishing that. I feel like I'm moving towards that. I feel like I'm getting there. And I'm really, really proud of myself so far. So I hope you're having a good week too. I love you. Stay hydrated. Take care of yourself.